good.
That's to make
This is a treat. Look at that. This is better than a bouquet of flowers. Hi, I'm Tina Piermarini. Welcome to Tina Cooks. Today, Carl and I took a little trip down to Ciro and Clara Ermini's farm stand. I got some nice zucchini, summer squash, green beans, lettuce, basil, and summer savory. In today's show, I'm going to incorporate the summer savory green bean salad, and we're going to make a swordfish and chicken kebab with rice. When you have a fresh garden like this, what you can create is incredible. Also, Ciro gave me this special Italian spice that he makes with herbs and basil and different herbs in his garden. He dries them himself. I can't wait to experiment with this. It smells wonderful. We're going to start with our fresh green beans from the garden. You want to soak them in some nice, cool water. Okay? You got to cut off the ends like so. Now these are really nice fresh beans because when I snap them, cut the ends, there's no strings. Sometimes when you buy beans, they have the strings and they pull down the side. If you're cleaning beans and you did just so happen to get them in a store or it's winter time and they're not in season, make sure you pull those strings out because those strings will be tough when you make your salad. So we're just going to clean all these beans up nice and neat, get them in our pot. Alrighty, one more and we're all set to go. I'm going to do two different versions of this bean. There is a bean salad I do with oil and garlic and basil, and then there is a tomato-based bean that I use. The bean salad with the oil and garlic and basil can be served hot or cold. The tomato version I like hot, but that's up to you because everybody's taste is different. Okay, we're going to move over to the stove, put some water in here, and we're going to show you how to do the tomato-based beans also. Alrighty, so we cleaned our green beans. We washed them out real good. As far as the bean salad, just boiling water. Put some nice coarse salt in there. You want them to taste like something. You're going to cover them, and they're going to come to a boil. Now, when you make your bean salad, I personally like them al dente. I like them crispy, crunchy. Some people, my grandmother used to cook everything to death so that it was nice and soft and tender, almost to the point of mushy, which some things I like that way, some things I don't. Today they tell you not to cook as much. The beans have to be cooked to your preference. I like them al dente. We're just going to bring them to a boil. I usually let my beans go a good 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on the texture of the bean. If they're tougher, they need a little more, but these are nice and tender. I bet you 10, 15 minutes will do it. The next dish I'm going to show you is going to be a tomato-based green bean. Unlike the salad, which you could serve hot or cold, these beans I particularly like hot, okay? So we're going to start out, we're going to get our pan nice and hot. We're going to start out with some onions. I had these onions in the fridge. Okay. Now I don't want a ton of onions, we don't want a ton of garlic. We just want to season the beans. We don't want to, have them too overpowered. Nice small mince or chop, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Garlic. I love garlic. There's never enough garlic for me. If you don't want to use garlic, you don't have to, but you're missing out. Garlic is definitely a wonderful thing. It's good for you, too. Tough-skinned garlic. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to slice this into rings. It's that way there. If someone decides they don't like garlic, they can pick it out. It's big enough. A lot of times if I'm just cooking for myself and I don't have to worry about someone, I do mince it or chop it. When I cook, I always tell everybody it's your preference because you need to cook the way you like to eat. Okay? I'm going to grab some olive oil, which I love olive oil. It's like one of the better things. Okay? We're going to take our onions and our garlic. We're going to throw it in there. Okay? And we're going to get that going. Okay. Okay. All right, now we have our onions and our garlic going. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of my red tomato sauce. You've seen that show, I'm sure. If you want, you can use plum tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, anything you want that you like to use. Of course, I try to use everything of my own because I love my food. All right, so we're going to put some tomatoes in here, some sauce, okay? And I'm going to season this. Even though my sauce is seasoned, the beans are coming in, the beans are not seasoned, okay? So we're going to put some salt. We're going to put some, I'm using it's red, green, black peppercorn. And we're going to put some pepper. And we're going to use some of Ciro's magic spice because I just want to see how this tastes. Now, he advised me very strongly to go very, very easy on it. So I'm going to because it is a new flavor to me and I'm not familiar with it. So I don't want to overdo. And of course, I've got to add a little granulated garlic. Okay? Now I'm just going to take my beans just as is. And we're going to put them in. They're all nice and cleaned and all set to go. And we're going to make sure that this comes up to a nice simmer. Okay, we're going to mix in all our flavoring and so on. Now these beans, just like the bean salad, is going to take a good 15 to 20 minutes to cook. And yes, I am going to cover them. I'm going to make sure they come up to a boil. And then I'm going to reduce them down to a nice simmer. So they simmer nice and slow and they get nice and flavored. So while these beans are cooking, we're going to take a break because they are going to take 20 minutes. And we'll be right back to show you the final product. We're going to do our show today with a chicken and swordfish shish kebab. All right, now what I like to do is marinate my chicken ahead of time. Now we've talked about the grilled chicken marinade before. You can take your favorite dressing. I like Good Seasons. Now this Good Seasons, even though it's just a packet, I've mixed it with wine vinegar, cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, lemon. Those are all good acid-based things to use. You can use just regular vinegar or whatever you want to use. We just cut the chicken in half, okay? And we're going to layer this in here like so. And I do cut it thin and then strip it because the swordfish doesn't have to cook as long as the chicken does. So I try to keep the chicken, a little thinner and roll it up a little bit. We'll show you when we make the shish kebab, okay? I also like to season each layer, okay? I have a little towel in my back pocket. Can't live without it. Now, a lot of people when they see me work with chicken, they say, Tina, you didn't bleach your board. I most certainly do. If I use a wooden board, not only do I clean it with bleach, I salt it after because salt takes out, it bleaches it out also. If I use a plastic board, I have a dishwasher. Always clean with chicken. Chicken is very bacterial, okay? Season this up. Now this is ready. The chicken, okay, yes, You can do 2-3 days ahead. That's fine, because the more it marinades, the better it gets. The swordfish, however, I don't do fish days ahead of time. When I'm working with a swordfish or a delicate fish, you don't want it to marinate a long, long time because then it's just too strong. It's too strong of a marinade. I usually do my fish maybe an hour, 2 hours the most ahead of time. So I have some nice fresh garlic. I'm just going to chop it. Okay? Now this is just a marinade to season the swordfish. Okay? Chop it nice and chunky there. Now you can use an infused oil. Now over the summer I got emails on infused oil. Now infused oil is a beautiful thing. I usually make infused oil because it's a concentration of the flavors you want in an oil. I'm not going to infuse this oil because I don't have any, and it'll be a strong enough marinade for the swordfish. Just take your oil and your garlic, put your swordfish in there, and just toss them around, okay? It's a nice mild, olive oil is a very mild marinade, and it's good with the swordfish. Because swordfish is not an oily, thing, so when you cook it, it's good to have a little oil with it. This I'm going to also cover like so. As far as the marinated oils, yes, I would like to talk about them a little further, but I'm sure I'll show you different infused oils as we go along. An infused oil is an oil that is heated not to the boiling point, where it takes the flavor out of the herbs you're using, whether it's a thyme or a rosemary, any type of oil, basil, you just take it with peppercorns or I've done it with lemon, any concentration that you want in the oil. And you warm it up and you don't let it boil and you just let everything simmer in it, strain it. Infused oils are really, really a wonderful thing. We're going to let these marinate and then we'll come back and we'll do the shish kebab. Okay, so our beans have been simmering. Carl, I want you to see this here. I did use a tomato sauce, so it's a little thicker of a base. If you use a plum tomato or a crushed tomato, it's going to be a little bit of a thinner base. Now, when I was younger, my nonna, my grandmother, used to make potatoes in here also, which were incredible. She'd slice the potatoes, get the potatoes going a little bit, put in the sauce and the beans. Oh my God, it was like heaven. So these are the tomato-based beans. These are a great side dish when anything you want to make. Now also what we're going to do is, I'm going to come over to the sink and we're going to drain off our other green beans. Alrighty, I'm going to lower down this heat because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bean salad. Now you can do these with green beans, wax beans, pole beans, whatever beans you like to use. I love Italian pole beans. I love wax beans also. They're great. We're going to let those drain a second. Okay? Then we're going to come over here. We're going to get some olive oil. I use olive oil, of course. Okay? All right. We're going to throw in some garlic. I'm going to throw in a little sliver of onions. Okay? We're going to get this going. I need a spoon. I have so many. I do have particular spoons I like for particular chores. Alrighty. Now this is almost kind of like an infusement of oil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that nice fresh basil that I got from Cero. And I'm going to stack it. And I'm going to roll it like a cigar. Everything, I love cigars. Okay. Just going to roll it up, nice little tight package. Then I'm going to grab one of my chef's knives. And I'm going to julienne or chiffonade or whatever you want to call it. But it's little tiny thin slices of nice fresh basil. Okay? And we're going to sprinkle that in the oil. And we're going to just let that infuse for a minute. Okay? Now I like to let this go a few minutes till the onions get translucent and the garlic gets a little soft so that it seasons the oil. You want your oil to be seasoned, okay? Because that's what's going to make your food taste good, is your seasoning. Oh, use a little salt and pepper. That needs to go a minute. Bring the beans over here. I'm going to bring the beans over here because, yes, even though the beans are cooked, I am going to saute the beans in the oil, and I'm going to season the beans. I love cracked pepper, a little bit of salt, some fresh granulated garlic. And we're just going to toss them around. Man, if you could smell this, you wouldn't believe how wonderful this is. This is another dish I grew up on. My father was a fabulous gardener, like Ciro, only Ciro's garden is much bigger than my father's. Okay? We're going to let that warm through, and we're going to plate it up. I'm going to grab a dish. And like I said, this dish is good whether it's hot or cold. I've eaten the bean salad cold, I've eaten the bean salad hot. I love it both ways. It's a great thing to do with beans. And we're going to put this in our bowl. If you want to cook your onions a little more, cook your onions a little more. Remember, my motto is cook the way you like to eat. If you like what you're eating, you're going to love to cook. If you gotta cook stuff and you don't like what you're eating, you're not gonna cook. So these are our beans, fresh beans from Ciro's garden. We have our tomato-based beans and our bean salad. Alrighty, so now we're gonna make the kabobs. I'm soaking my kabob rods, sticks. You buy them at any grocery store. This helps the sticks not burn so much. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take out our swordfish. Forgot what I was making here for a moment. All righty. Now, I tend to be fussy with swordfish. I like it nice and fresh, and I don't like this black area. So this, when I make swordfish, 9 times out of 10 goes. Sometimes I leave it on and then I just pick it off, but we're going to get rid of it today. What I'm going to do is I am going to take the skin off here, here, okay, alrighty, I'm going to put this back in the oil. I won't use this oil again, I won't save it, I throw it out. We're going to cut cubes of shish kebab, of swordfish. Alrighty. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our chicken. Now the chicken, like I said before, I left it a little thinner because the swordfish, you don't want to cook it. I don't like raw swordfish. A lot of times when you watch cooking shows or people cook, they make a tuna steak and it's still that blood red. No, I cook mine. It's maybe slightly pink, but that's about it. Same thing with the swordfish. I like my swordfish cooked. So, I'm just, as you can see, I'm just stripping it. This is gonna like almost fold up. All right, one more. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Try to make sure you go the right way. All right. Now, when you do kabobs, you can do vegetables in between them too. I just like my my meat on my stuff. I'm gonna put some of these back in. So we're gonna go swordfish. If you get a stick, that phrase, you put it on there and it just starts to shred. You don't want to use that because that'll stick in your food, and that could you know, get dangerous. You know, you could choke yourself or, you know, something like that. So we're just going to keep going like this and putting our kabobs together. Okay, now that that is done, we're going to just clean this up a minute. Now, if you remember, I wanted to try to incorporate this spice, which I have never used, summer savory. We got it at Ciro's today. I'm not really quite sure what kind of a spice it is, but I did put it in water just like flowers, and it's perking back up because it was wilting on the counter while we were waiting to use it. So I'm going to take this. This is our piccata butter. I don't know if you remember the show, but we did the piccata butter. It's garlic, butter, lemon, parsley. I'm going to put some of that savory, summer savory in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to microwave this for about 10 seconds. Just so that it heats it up, because I wanted to put the butter, lemon butter, on the swordfish, baste the swordfish as I'm cooking it. I am not going to baste the chicken with it, because when I do this type of dish, I like the chicken to have the regular marinade of the salad dressing, the vinegary, and the fish should taste different. I like it to taste different. I don't like the same marinade on everything. Alrighty, so this is all set. Now see, basically, yeah, see what this did was it just warmed it up enough to make it so that I can baste it. And that seasoning is going to sit in that. You can already smell it releasing the aroma, the herb. It's going to be great. So we're going to clean up this mess and move outside and barbecue. Oh boy. So now we're barbecuing the kabobs. Alrighty. Make sure your grill is nice and hot. Okay. Ooh, this is a little top heavy. Just put this on better. That piece of chicken's not cooperating. There we go. Alrighty. Now I'm not going to use the same dish that I took the food out in, because I skeever that. There's chicken juice and all kinds of stuff, so we don't want that in there. I'm going to cover this down a little bit so these can get a little bit of a head start. Okay, I'm going to take this butter with this herb, and I'm just going to hit the swordfish. I'm not going to hit the chicken with it, okay? That's what we're going to just do, the swordfish, so the swordfish has its own flavor from the chicken. We don't want it to taste the same. Make sure you don't hit a chicken by mistake. Well, if you do, it's still delicious. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna close the cover on this and let it cook a little bit. Now we're gonna quarter turn these. When I barbecue something, if it's a steak, you turn it once. These I quarter turn because they have 4 sides. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your piece and you're going to turn it, quarter turn it. If your food doesn't cooperate, you make it cooperate, okay? This side, quarter turn, quarter turn. That's not a very hot spot, so we're going to move that there. Quarter turn, okay? We're going to hit the swordfish again with our butter. Very lightly. so that each side is going to have a little punch of this seasoning on it. And we're going to close this cover and we're going to let it go again, another couple minutes. You turn them around a lot, the swordfish gets flaky, it'll tear up. You don't want that to happen. So let's let it go another couple minutes and we'll be right back. This is going to be my last quarter turn. Now what I'm going to do with this last turn is I'm going to check out each shish kebab. If it's not dark enough, I'm going to make sure that I put it somewhere where it's going to get darker, okay? So that they all have a nice brown edge to them. There we go. Alrighty. Now when you make your shish kebabs, you can put peppers, onions, zucchini, summer squash, mushrooms. You can put any kind of vegetable you want on the skewer. I don't use it because the majority of my family that eats, they don't want the peppers, they like just their meat and their chicken. So when you're at home, if you like your vegetables, put your vegetables on the skewer. They're grilled, they're excellent. Okay, we're gonna close this, let it go another 2 minutes, and we're ready to plate up. Alrighty, so these shish kebab have gone around 10 minutes. Oh, we're on fire. Put that out, you don't wanna take that in the house with you. We'll have to call the fire department. Okay, we're gonna take off our shish kebab, just like so. And you can also cook your swordfish a little less if you like it a little less done. Okay, I'm gonna take this in the house and we're gonna plate up some rice and our veggies. Follow me. Okay, we're gonna plate up our shish kebab. You can put them right on the plate. I have a plain bed of rice with our green beans, red, and al oil. And what I like to do is when I'm having company is I like to take the sticks off and just slide them right off. They're easier to manage than having the sticks around. Put a nice lemon wedge on that. This is Tina Piermarini. Thank you for watching Tina Cooks. Have a good night. Hi, I'm Tina Piermarini from Tina Cooks. I already forgot what I was supposed to say. I forgot what I was going to say. Help me out. We're going to be doing some new shows coming up. Oh, that's okay. That's good. Oh, I can't do this. I'll do it again.